What's up, guys? I'm bringing to you today the first video of Kanto Cup this go around. I have plenty of Kanto Cup videos in the past if you haven't checked those out. I know it's not rated this time, but I still did feel like I should probably put out some content for Kanto Cup, and this is a team that really surprised and worked out very well. So I'll get right into it right after. Huge shout out to my Patreon supporters, as always. Couldn't be doing this without you guys, and now more than ever, I appreciate your support. So yeah, let's get into this gameplay video. Let's talk a little bit about this team and how it was built. This team wasn't originally the team I wanted to play. I wanted to run something with Fire Lead, and then I wanted something like a Shadow Dragonair as the switch, just really go pure ABB, but I miscalculated my dust. Shadow Dragonair takes about 300,000 dust, a bit more than that to actually get ready for Great League, which is a bit insane. So that's why I'm using Shadow Victreebel instead. The goal was to bait out the ice types for Dragonite, and Shadow Victreebel was the only grass Pokemon I had ready for Kanto Cup, unfortunately. So that's the way it goes. But this team completely exceeded expectations. I originally did try this team with AWAC in the lead. I'm running Hex for Sylph purposes right now, and I didn't want to waste any TMs. So I feel like with Hex, it didn't really work that well. I do think Alolan Marowak is a pretty good replacement for Ninetales here, but it just wasn't working, so I switched it up. I think if you were paying attention, you saw me switch that at the beginning of the set. So, anyways, the team ended up being Ninetales, Shadow Victreebel, and Dragonite, and I don't think I lost a single set on stream, and that's with me on stream. I don't play very well on stream. Absolutely was killing it, though, with this team. I have no idea. Well, I have a bit of an idea why, but it definitely wasn't one of the teams where I looked at the beginning, and I was like, this is the team for sure. So let's take a look at how this team works. We're just finishing up this first game here, so we'll be able to get a little bit more of a good look at how this team works in the next game when everything resets. We see I do lose this first game here. But it was a team with two very hard Shadow Victreebel counters in the back. But like I said, the MVPs here are Ninetales and Shadow Dragonite, so I feel like the switch Victreebel probably isn't the best bet here. So I actually swapped to Victreebel first to try and get some damage on it. I know normally you'd want to swap to your second best counter, but in this case I really do need to make sure those ice types are out of the way, because Dragonite actually has a really good matchup versus most of this meta. So unfortunately Marowak was able to farm my Victreebel all the way down, and at this point I've realized, hey, my Ninetales is kind of useless, right? They have an Alolan Graveller. Ninetales can't touch that. So right now what I'm using Ninetales as is essentially 2 shields for this Dragonite, and I'm throwing this Weather Ball to wear down the switch timer so that I can come back in with my Dragonite. And I'm just hoping that Dragonite can beat whatever is left. So they swap into their Alolan Graveller, and guess what? No Rock-type fast move. No Rock-type fast move at all. So you actually can win this by spending 2 shields, and you get shields back, right, by just throwing Dragon Claws. In fact, they're not even going to get to their second move here because they took a little bit of Razor Leaf damage, and now they're coming out with a Beedrill here. I really did want to go with the Draco Meteor, but unfortunately I was going to faint first, and my Ninetales will be able to take out this little Marowak. So let's also talk move sets for a little bit. This team, you really only use one move on each Pokemon. I think I've beamed, like in these sets, on that day, I don't think I used Solar Beam a single time. I don't think I used Draco Meteor a single time. I think I maybe used Acid Spray once, but I think Leaf Blade was the better play. So, like, you really don't need the second moves. We can actually do a counter this whole time, see if any of these second moves actually get used in this video. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm very certain that none of them landed. I think I landed a Solar Beam today, but it was with a different team. I don't know why I'm comparing those two. And that was me testing how much damage a Shadow Bone would do. And because I know they have an Alolan Ninetales, I really did need to test that out there. And now I've eliminated the one Pokemon on my team that's weak to Charm, and they have a Charmer left, right? So I can really take advantage of this going into the next Pokemon. They actually don't shield, which is a pretty big deal. And they bring in the Alolan Muk. So this is really good because Shadow Victreebel actually beats Alolan Muk in the 2 shield. And having Acid Spray would have helped here a little bit, but you don't need it at all to win that matchup. Actually, I'm not 100% sure with the Razor Leaf nerfs if that's true still, but with Acid Spray, it's a guarantee. So you see Hypno lead, we can't switch out here. This is the problem with it being a little bit of an imperfect ABB line. So, switching into Shadow Victreebel you can't do that versus Hypno until it gets weaker. So at this point, once this Hypno has thrown its energy, I actually would consider switching to Shadow Victreebel. I don't know if I do that here. Yeah, I do, because I can take down this Hypno before it can really do too much damage to me. And they're going to swap into a Charmer. So somehow swapping to Victreebel has actually drawn their Charmer out for Dragonite. This is not something I expected, but I will take it. And I'm just throwing right away. Try and get either a shield or take this Wigglytuff down. So get the shield, because I didn't want it to get to this move, which it's going to get to. Fortunately, now I do need to spend a shield, and I'm really hoping that it wasn't Hypno double Charm, because I am not able to farm this Wigglytuff down. I have to throw my energy. And it is a Machamp in the back, so this is exactly what you want to see with Dragonite. Even if they get to a move, you got a shield still, but you can take him down with the 0 shield. You win the race to the lethal move, right? Machamp has to get all the way to Rock Slide. You only have to get to Dragon Claw. Gets to Cross Chop, it's not enough. All right, next match. See Marowak lead. This is pretty bad for the whole team, so we're gonna see how this plays out. I actually have to stay in this bad lead because I can't switch to Dragonite because Victreebel is not an answer. So what I'm going to do is try and get this Marowak low enough and then start the farm on Dragonite. I found that if you actually fast move deny properly, you can sometimes force a shield from these Alolan Marowaks. Like look at this. I did fast move deny there, but I think I fast move deny the first one, and it looks like I still get to this next lethal Weather Ball, right? Because they didn't get the defense drop on Shadow Bone. So because of that, I'm able to take down this Marowak, and then I'm able to snipe it before it can actually get to another move. So as long as they don't have a Charmer, I'm still in a pretty okay position. Now my Dragonites versus Snorlax, both fast moves have 3 energy per turn. So, and both charge moves are 35 energy. So I know that he's slightly behind me, and then I'll just keep beating him to these moves. As long as I'm throwing them relatively fast. But I decided to switch to my Shadow Victreebel to kind of see what's in the back, make sure it's not an ice type or anything like that. And we're just going to go with the Leaf Blade, force a shield, but guess what? They don't respect the Leaf Blade, and this is exactly why you have to respect the Leaf Blade. There's just, it just hits too hard. You just have to, respect it. And also I wasn't at an Acid Spray anyway, so it's not even like a bait or something like that. But either way, we managed to pull out 4 wins. I think this was the first ever set I played with this specific team, right? I said I ran Alolan Marowak earlier as the lead. And we're going to see a really bad lead here, Blastoise. I'm going to switch right into Victreebel, and they're going to come right back in with Shadow Dragonair. So Shadow Dragonair, actually really bad for this team. It beats all of these Pokemon. So it's going to be a team effort to try and take this thing down. But luckily, very luckily, they don't respect the Leaf Blade. You got to respect the Leaf Blade. So it's not just about fast move damage with Shadow Victreebel. It's about charge move damage. That's why it's dangerous and the other Razor Leafers are not. So either way, we have this Blastoise come back in. I can technically no-shield this. Do I do it? Yeah, I think I did it to test it out because I hadn't done in the past. I still have the shield, so I'm going to commit to the farm down, and we're going to see what they have in the back. It's Ninetales. So either way, they'll be taking some pretty heavy damage from Dragon Claw here. And once again, an opportunity to go for Draco Meteor, but I would get farmed down before I would even get to it. So the only reason I'm running Draco Meteor on it right now, I think it would probably be better with Hurricane. Or Outrage. But Draco Meteor is just, when I was preparing this Pokemon, I evolved it just now, right? Sorry, like a couple days ago. So because it's Kanto event, it got Draco Meteor, and it's a legacy move, so I kind of have some pretty severe FOMO and don't want to delete it. As far as elite TMing, because this question is going to come up in the comments for sure. Don't elite TM your Dragonite to Draco Meteor. Please don't do that for Great League. Unless there's like a specific Sylph meta or something. Don't do it. Don't waste that elite TM. Like it seems fun, but realistically, look at this. I'm never gonna get to use it. It might be different with a different team that's not so squishy, but it is what it is. So Lickitung lead here, and I'm gonna go into my Victreebel, which draws out the Alolan Marowak, which is, I mean, it's not great. It draws it out for the Dragonite to farm down, if they don't also farm all the way down. So because they let the Leaf Blade through though, I don't mind going with Ninetales and actually taking some of this energy to the next matchup. It's not necessarily because Ninetales had such a bad matchup in the lead and I wasn't able to win switch. It also has to do with just saving the Dragonite for later. and maybe bringing this energy into the next matchup. So I am able to take down that that Marowak and bring a Weather Ball into whatever he's going to bring back. So it's going to be the Lickitung. And this isn't a Pokemon that resists Weather Ball, so I'm fine throwing it and then getting out of there. These licks will add up though, right? Lickitung is very tanky. Body Slams don't hit very hard. And they're going to come out with Tentacruel. And this is a pretty bad scenario here, right? Tentacruel runs Acid Spray. So this extra shield that I've saved doesn't really do too much. And in fact, I decided no shield here because it is an Acid Spray. But I don't really have a win condition anymore. It's just about seeing how much damage Pokemon moves due to the Pokemon that I haven't really run before. Yeah, so tough game there, but it is what it is. Was that Auburn, I think? I cut the name a little bit short. These games are all against like leaderboard players for sure because ratings are frozen, right? So if you win or lose, like from what I've seen, you're not really going up and down right now. You're just playing the same people. So these are all the people that I was playing in my push to the end. There's definitely a lot of spice, but there's a lot of people playing for real too. And we're going to see this Hypno counter swap my Victreebel. And because I didn't time my move very well, or if I didn't go for the fast move denial, I was not able to win switch there. Luckily, however, I am able to take down that Hypno with my Dragonite's Dragon Breath before it can use its move. Remember that if you have a one-turn fast move, you can switch in and deal your damage before they can throw their move. So just take advantage of that when you're running Shadow Dragonite or Dragonair or anything with Dragon Breath or Lick. If they're really low, you can take them out before they get a chance to move. They have to faint in one fast move. Remember that. Because it does end up winning a lot. Like this game would be completely different if I was not able to just snipe there. So I switch and save my Dragonite for later. Snorlax was getting to a Body Slam. I have no shields. So I swap to Ninetales to tank Body Slam. Kind of drain that Snorlax's energy. And then I'm going to try and take out the Snorlax before it gets to its second Body Slam. Like, it had to throw there. So that's why I was able to just... It can't let me just keep farming it down and then throw Fire Spins. So that's why I'm able to just switch out there. So next game against Abutan, we have Dewgong. This is really bad for the team. It beats every Pokemon on the team. Oh, not Shadow Victreebel. But it's an Ice type, right? So you really don't want to be switching Shadow Victreebel into it. If I switch Shadow Victreebel into it, then we're going to have some issues because that's my best Dewgong counter, and I'm not going to be able to deal with it anymore. So they bank a lot of energy on their Dewgong and switch, which is really good. It's a really smart play. But luckily, I'm able to bring in my Dragonite here and try and get some shields back from this Snorlax. Honestly, don't even mind if I let my Dragonite go down this game. There's an Ice type waiting for me. So I'm going to commit to the farm down instead, which is going to give me some really good damage versus this Dewgong when it comes back in. But unfortunately, I'm pretty low already, so it's tough. I throw the Weather Ball to fake the Solar Beam, but it's a Lapras, and they actually didn't shield the Lapras, which is pretty insane. Because I was at the Solar Beam, so maybe if I did go for it, I would have got it. That would have been the first time I would have been using a second charge move on one of these Pokemon. But yeah, like this game is very clearly over. I'm not able to recover, and the double Ice back is going to beat the Grass Dragon back line. Like it's pretty rough. That entire team though was weak to fighting, so a single Machamp runs through it all. Some of these teams don't make sense. I guess my team doesn't really make that much sense, but it's Kanto Cup. It's the Wild West out here. Alolan Muk lead. I really don't want to switch to Shadow Vic until it's a little bit lower. But I'm just waiting to tank a move here from this Alolan Muk. I think they're banking quite a bit of energy so that it's hard for me to switch in. But they'll just let their Muk go down here. And Shadow Machamp comes out, so I'm going to switch immediately to Victreebel, right? It's a Pokemon that both Victreebel and Dragonite beat because of the Poison and Flying subtypings, and they're going to bring in Alolan Marowak and not Shield. So at this point, I realize I have already won. I'm bringing in Ninetales to just absorb some damage. Honestly, there's nothing they can really do. My Dragonite is going to just absolutely shred not only the Marowak, but the Machamp in the back. And even though that's a bait, you know what? I only need one shield to beat Machamp. Because look how much damage those Dragon... That's a one-turn move right there. That's a one-turn move. They baited me, of course. Like, that's their only win con, and they don't get to the next move either. Honestly, they probably should. They should have just went straight Rock Slide and then hope that I called a bait. That's the only way they're going to win. But yeah, we're gonna win 3 out of 5 of these ones as well. And I was running predictions on stream, so people could predict if I was going to win or lose the set, and I just kept winning sets. So I just switched it up. It was pretty crazy, to be honest. Like I said, I don't fully understand why this team does so well. It's more of a balanced team than most, and I'm staying in a lot of these leads. So maybe I'll try my hand at creating some balanced teams in the future. So we see Ninetales here, and we're going to get some Weather Ball damage on this Hypno. Once again, it's really hard to switch into Hypno with this backline. But it is something that I have to consider because I need my Ninetales to take out the Ice types. And I'm actually able to snipe that Hypno with my Victreebel. So in comes Electrode, and at this point, I think they know they're screwed. Because if they're coming in with Electrode as their best counter, then there are some issues. And look, I could have won Acid Spray. I could have won Acid Spray for sure, but I think the really safe play here would have actually been to use no moves at all. But the Leaf Blades shred both shields, which is something that Acid Spray cannot do, and then I still take it down anyways. So just making sure they don't save those shields for next game, next time we meet up. Yeah, so that was a chance to use it for sure. FP Sticks, so big contact. You all have heard of FP Sticks. I know his team because I ran into him the other day as well, and he beat me despite me countering his lead and backline. So let's see how FP Sticks team like Shadow Dragonite. I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It really does not like Shadow Dragonite at all. So I have a tough decision to make. This thing has Drill Run, but Shadow Dragonite doesn't want to take hits either. So I'm just going to no-shield this first move, I think, because it's a Flame Charge, and the second Flame Charge will hit way harder, but he will never get to that second Flame Charge because those Dragon Breaths hit so hard, and right now he's trying to think of what to do because his entire team kind of loses to Shadow Dragonite, right? It's double Fire and Primeape. But I've realized I actually have to switch here and try and tank some moves on Ninetales because I'm getting too low on HP. And the thing is, I know that they have a Ninetales in the back as well. And I shield 2 Night Slashes because I realize, hey, oh my god, why am I beaming? I beamed to BM, and that's going to ruin the title of this video here. Weather Ball does more damage, damage per energy than Solar Beam does. And you can see he's actually running Psyshock, not Solar Beam. So I almost lose this game because I went for the beam. But I think I'm able to pull this one off. They have to empty their energy to take out my Ninetales. And then it's all a matter of me bringing back in this Dragonite and taking down not only the Primeape, but the Ninetales as well. So I guess that is a second move used right now. That was a Solar Beam used. But realistically, if I were playing seriously, that I would not have used Solar Beam there. Like if there was rating on the line, I would have been throwing 2 Weather Balls instead. It's as simple as that. So I might still claim that no second moves were used because realistically, the only second move used so far has been used as a troll. This game, we're going to see Alolan Muk counter swap versus Shadow Victreebel. I have the opportunity to take back switch here by spending shields, but I feel like that is not very important because it's not like Shadow Machamp has a really good matchup versus Ninetales, and this is an opportunity for me to actually farm down this Muk with Ninetales and bring some energy into that Shadow Machamp matchup, so it can't really come into me. Just kidding. Let my Ninetales go down, because guess what? It is all on the Shadow Dragonite. And the fact that they bring in Machamp, good sign. I'll shield once. It doesn't make sense for them to bait here, but they do. It's fine. And it's a Hex Marowak, which is actually much worse for me. It's much worse, because they get 2 moves much faster, and they deal neutral damage with Hex. So, unfortunately, I do throw that Dragon Claw instead of Draco Meteor, because I need to take down this Machamp later. and they don't bait, they just go for it. That's their win condition, right? So very smart play by my opponent, but it's not going to matter. Shadow Dragonite just cleans up 3 Pokemon at the end, and that's what it does in Kanto Cup. There's just so few Pokemon that can deal with Dragon. It doesn't need to be Shadow. I think Shadow Dragonite is better than regular. Should address that now, since that's for sure going to be a question. But Shadow Dragonite is able to power through a few more things with Dragon Breath than regular Dragonite. Regular Dragonite's obviously able to take some more hits. But I think with its job as the closer on this team, I do like the Shadow a little bit better. Alright, so Alolan Marowak leads. So this is what happens when your defense falls instead. We saw that first Alolan Marowak lead where I was able to win back switch advantage, just going straight Weather Ball. In this case, I am not, right? That extra defense drop was able to deal a little bit more damage, but in this case, they are not only able to preserve a shield on themselves, but I am forced to spend a shield on a Bone Club because I wasn't counting. And they're going to come in with just hard counters for the entire line, right? So they have the Wigglytuff for the Dragonite, and then they have the Venusaur for the Victreebel. So this is just a triple hard counter team. It is what it is. I was streaming. I doubt it was a stream snipe. Like, these teams happen. We don't have to blame it on stream snipes or anything like that. I'm shielding Frenzy Plants like a dummy. I was really just trying to win switch advantage back, or stall the clock and then switch. But the fact of the matter is there's only 4 moves used, and I probably could have switched at the last second there, but I miscounted. So, oh yeah, I didn't miscount. I thought they were going to go for a Sludge Bomb, but the fact of the matter is they only need the Frenzy Plant. So that was not a miscount, it was a misread, but still a mistake on my part. But hard counter team. I likely wasn't going to beat that team without severely outplaying them. We have Blastoise lead. Lots of Blastoise in Kanto Cup. You love to see it. And they come in with their Shadow Vic Mirror. So the thing is, they came in a little bit late, and they caught some of that fast move damage. And that's why I can throw right away. I don't have to fast move deny because our moves are out of sync. And they actually get the fast move deny off too, which is impressive. And I'm not going to shield. So I don't shield. It's an acid spray. That's fine. They win switch, but I have shield advantage now. And they have no energy. So I can choose to get energy on my Ninetales and keep secret what's in my back line, and that's what I do. And I do shield once here. And just switch right away to my Dragonite. So guess what? This is actually Grass Hole, but with a Blastoise lead. Haven't seen anything like that before, but the entire team loses to Shadow Dragonite by itself. And that is what it is as well. Was that a 4 set? I think that was just 3 or 4. Anyways, we have a game against Auburn. This is Auburn, sorry. Yeah, first of all, congratulations to Auburn for passing me. Highest average leaderboard finish. I'm now 2nd place. Nothing to be ashamed of. Auburn is a fantastic battler. So, and unfortunately, he's brought extremely hard counters to my line as well. He's got the Venusaur in the back. He's got that Alolan Graveller in the front. So there's a reason I go in with this Ninetales here. It's because of the Alolan Graveller. I need to save all the health I can on Dragonite and all the shields I can for this Alolan Graveller. Otherwise, there's no way I'm going to be able to take it down. So instead of switching right away, I do pause the clock to get this Weather Ball off. Every little bit of damage helps. I'm just going to spam shields on my Dragonite. These Rock Blasts will really hurt, and unfortunately they do have a Pidgeot in the back. This isn't a hard counter, but almost any Pokemon with any decent moveset and decent bulk is going to beat Dragonite, right? Like, look how much damage I'm taking from these Gusts. Can't even get to that final move. And I think I just let this through. The game's over, right? Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, we'll see what we get with the next game here. I Cannot Be Tamed. I feel like I battled them every day as well. And we're seeing Marowak lead. Lots of Marowak leads today. Well, just in general in Kanto Cup, Alolan Marowak is really strong. I failed my fast move denial, but it doesn't look like I did it very well anyways. So, like I said, I just need to fast move deny one of these and not get the defense drop. I failed the first one, so a lot of pressure on me to do the second one. Actually, they go for the Bone Club, so this is much safer. So even if I mess up that fast move denial, which I did, I should still be able to get to this final Final Weather Ball, unless they also go for a Shadow Bone here, which they don't. I have the power of hindsight, you know, I know exactly what happened in these games. And they're going to have to shield this or let their Alolan Marowak go down. So I'll take that slight shield advantage. I'm going to have to give it back, obviously. And Bone Club. Everyone just Bone Clubbing everything. Very frustrating. But I'll be able to take that Marowak down before I take too much damage. And in comes the Wigglytuff. So my Victreebel has a lot of work to do. A absolute ton of work to do here. Because it has to beat both this Haunter and this Wigglytuff, but it is a bit too low. And, oh, I do go for the Acid Spray here. But it's game losing. It's game losing Acid Spray. Yeah, because Dragonite doesn't do anything to Wigglytuff. So I guess that's true. I technically did use Acid Spray twice. Basti as well. I play him every day, it seems like, and we have a Beedrill lead going into Electrode. So we're gonna swap right into that Shadow Victreebel to deal with this Electrode. They did not charge up enough for me to have to shield this. But I decided to throw my Leaf Blade at the end there, and they can choose if they want Switch or not. And they do. So I did that because both of my Pokemon are very good against Beedrill. I really don't care which one I have matched up against them. And saving the shield for Dragonite in the end could prove to be the difference, right? So Primeape comes out. Primeape, very annoying Pokemon. And they blow their last shield. So I'm going to get to this Weather Ball, and they're counting very well. Throw it right as I get there to take me down, which is exactly what I wanted, except for not this attack Sharply Rose thing. The benefit of this is that they will stay in, probably, to try and get that counter or that Night Slash damage off. And that'll delay their Beedrill from coming in. So I'll be able to have enough energy to hopefully take down this Beedrill. And enough energy to take down this Primeape afterward as well. They knew they needed to get to 2 moves, and their Primeape couldn't get to 1. So that's why their Beedrill didn't throw. They're trying to get to 2 X-Scissors. Crazy One-Arms as well. Like, these names are getting extremely familiar. It's the same old song and dance every day. Where's the Hypno lead, and they're going to go straight to Dewgong. I switched a little bit slow, so this was poor play by me. If you switch fast, you don't have to use a second shield. If you switch slow, you sometimes do. Luckily, I barely made it. So this is perfect, less farm for my opponent. I can pretend it was calculated this whole time, but in reality, it wasn't. Ideally, you want to throw 1 Razor Leaf before throwing that Leaf Blade, but I wasn't sure it was the Hypno that was coming back in. So that's why I threw the Leaf Blade right away. And then Hypno comes in, and I'm just going in straight with Dragonite. So a bit weird, right? You might think, why are you going with Dragonite? Because I expected there to be a Lapras in the back. This is because I saw a Dewgong. So a lot of people run ABB lines, right? You see a Dewgong come in as a switch. There's probably a Lapras in the back. I go for the Weather Ball here. And man, people do not respect the Solar Beam. I should just be beaming. But it is what it is. So I'm able to get this Lapras low enough and have it throw its energy. And I recognize that I do need to save a shield for this Dragonite because this Hypno is at a move. And I honestly think that it was at a move much earlier than that as well. But they're just trying to get to 2 moves, which my Dragonite stopped because Dragon Breath, the 1-turn move, gets its damage off before charge moves can activate, right? So I was able to take out that Hypno there before it could get its second move off. Not 100% sure that it was at 2 moves, but I got the feeling that they probably wouldn't throw otherwise. Shadow Snorlax in the lead. I'm going to swap right away. Let's preserve some health. And somehow I'm able to draw out a Charmer. So that was my big issue with running Shadow Victreebel as the switch here, is because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to draw the Charmers well enough for this Dragonite. But somehow there's just so many Charmers that this is what happens. Snorlax comes back in, and guess what? I'm banking that this is Snorlax double Charm. So that's why I come back in with the Dragonite. Normally you hide the Dragonite, but if I think there's another Charmer, I am very obviously going to be going all in on my Dragonite on something else. I even might have just let that go, and I'm correct, there's a Wigglytuff, right? So Fire type's pretty good against these Charmers. Give you enough time to get to multiple Weather Balls. I think I'm going to be able to take down this, yeah, Wiggly It's not really posed too much of a threat to Ninetales. Like, it's not even really that close. And we're able to win another 3. I do think last set we won 4 then, because I think there were 2 4-1 sets and then 2 3-2 sets here. But yeah, so this was an exciting team. I know it's Kanto Cup. People probably won't, not too many people will watch this kind of video, but I felt that this team was successful enough that I would feel bad if I didn't share it, to be honest. Like, it went really, really well, consider everything, all considered. So if Kanto Cup does come around again, and you know it will, because Niantic loves to milk Kanto, Pokemon Company as well, like everyone just loves Kanto. So I'm not even hating on them for that, but it'll be back for sure. I'm almost guaranteeing it'll be back. This is a team that I might consider running for sure. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, as always, guys, I will put all of my stuff in the description. And if you haven't been paying attention, I started streaming at 10 a.m. PST while I'm out of a job on weekdays. So come stop by, come hang out. I've loved seeing more and more of you guys from YouTube come around and join the Twitch army. Not that I'll stop here, obviously. They both just have different purposes. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for watching.